Imogen Heap. This is my studio in the bowels of my house, and yeah, I'm here with What You Got. The last record, I just decided at the end of it, I don't want to make another record like that all in one go, because I have to put my family life on hold, my love life on hold, my social life on hold, and then I have to go off on tour, and then I don't see anyone. So I wanted to integrate music making and releasing into my life better. So this is why I'm doing this album, one song every 3 months, over a short 2-week period, because I've found that's my optimum. That's when I work my best, when I have 2 weeks to write a song. And I thought just to kind of throw into the mix, try and make a video in that time and the artwork, and get it all released all in this 2-week period, because we can in this day and age, which we couldn't have done even just a year ago. It wasn't possible to do what we can do now. I don't know what the theme of it is, other than that as now I've done these two, discovered that it's definitely, each one is very much a project. It very much has its own kind of ecosystem around it. There's many kind of spin-offs that happen, and people that I meet, and making these kind of little things online, getting photographers involved. Actually, I've got a couple of people who are on my team now who we met as a result of the last Heap song, who have now become, you know, making stuff for this, who have got in touch with us through the website. So we're kind of building our team as we go along as well. I basically want to be on stage in 2013 or before, where I don't need to wire up any of my gear. I can make gestures through either video recognition, camera recognition of where my body is, like the Connect system, or through sensors and accelerometers and magnetism and things, so that I can be like, and this will record my voice and then stop recording, and then maybe I can go and I can make loops, and then perhaps I can make this kind of shape, and then you'll hear the sound go or maybe I want to stretch something, so if the beat was going so if I made this shape, it would go, it would get really stretched, and so that I can kind of move around on stage and have different areas on stage which do different things. Like this area, if I move in a certain way, I become the drums. So if I go then maybe I make drum sounds, but because of the angles of my body. So maybe I'll learn to dance properly as well. So these are all things which I couldn't do if I was doing the album in the usual sense. Before I started blogging, there was this, I knew that there were people who liked my music, but I didn't know who they were, I didn't know what they looked like, I didn't really know anything about them. And it always felt strange to me that I made my music for people who I didn't know who they were, and that they would buy it, maybe, and listen to it, and kind of experience it in their lives. But I wouldn't. The story ended with me. It ended in my studio with me and the song. And what I love about social media and about people, you know, putting the music to a dance piece or remixing it, or is that the songs have a continued life, and then I get to hear about who they end up with, and what kind of fun they're having together. So it's really important for me to have that kind of conclusion in a way. It's not even a conclusion, it's a continued journey that these songs are having, and the people they're meeting. And I just love to hear the feedback loop, because then it feeds me too also to write new stuff. It does get to a point where you think, well, you know, I did work really hard and it would be nice if you paid for it. But at the same time, there's two minds, because there's, you know, thousands of people who've sent it to their friend, and their friend's been like, oh, I really like that, and then they know about me. But because their friend sent it to them, or because their friend told them about it, it's almost like a gift. So why should they pay for it? Because it's like a gift, you gave it to somebody. And the word spreads, and it's very difficult to talk about it, because I don't want to criminalise the people that are basically sharing and loving your music, and they're only sharing it because they like it. They're not doing it out of spite. They're not like, I'm going to give this to my friend for free just to annoy you because I don't like your music. It's like they like your music and they want to share it. It's just, how do we find this space where the artists around the world who are making music still make money, but maybe it's a situation where, you know, so many more people have much more music than they used to. You know, I had quite a lot of music, but you know, maybe you had like 4 or 5 CDs that you really liked a year, or you know, something like that, or tapes. You copied tapes. So I guess I was pirating music even in my younger days, because you were copying tapes to friends, making mixtapes and stuff. I think we just need to find a space where possibly, you know, something like a cloud situation where people upload their music onto their cloud, they have it online, and then every time they send it or move it to a new space or move it to a new computer or move it to their friend, that they pay a small kind of micro transaction of like 0.01 pence or something, and that accumulates to being a similar amount to what it might have been in the past when people actually bought music. But we can't, it's going to be impossible to go back, you know, because people are used to sharing their music. So I'm hopeful. I know that there will be a resolve, because there has to be, because, you know, we want new music, and we want to be able to share it. It just, the cycle has to work, the loop has to work, that the people who make the music get paid in some way. But I'm not one to kind of criminalise people for not buying the record, but I would appreciate it if they did.
Okay, well, I really love this. This is the latest instrument that I have. It was bought for me by all the people on my last tour. So this is a microphone. And that's what I use for Lifeline. I use this. And these are actually my lyrics, because what happens is I write them, and then the next day or two I have a gig and I want to play the new song. So this is me being sneaky and having my lyrics on my piece of music. Well, I don't know. I mean, basically, I have when I'm on stage, I have these wrist microphones I put on my wrists, so I can play things without having to be, you know, having to go to a certain area, because that's where the microphone is. So for this one, I just pick it up if I want to use it. I've got my wrist microphones, and I can just do that, and then people can hear it because the microphones are on my wrists. I'm not really imagining, but I like it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming and talking to me. It's very nice to meet you. Yeah, just if you want to follow or get involved in any of the songs, there's always something. The next one I'm up for in September is if anyone wants to learn or wants to get involved in bringing back to life a Georgian walled garden. There's one in my village, and I want to sort it out. So basically crowdsourcing builders, glaziers, you know, people who want to grow vegetables. Maybe there might even be an allotment share. We don't know yet, but we're just quickly trying to pull something together for the next Heap song, and then I'm going to write a piece of music inspired by this in some way. Maybe it's the life of a plant, or maybe it's all about being a brick wall. That, you know, how it's seen, what's seen over the years, what's been inside its arms. I don't know. So we're doing that in September, and then we're going to do the video, kind of a time lapse of the space, but somehow kind of beautifying it and kind of making it all weird and wonderful. So that's going to be the next one. So if you want to get involved, IMOGENHEAP.com, and if you're a photographer, filmmaker, anything, there's always something to get involved in, and sometimes I even pay.